We're here live at Court Square Recordings, downtown Memphis, Tennessee, WYXR 91.7 FM, live at WYXR. I think it's the first time we kind of matching with a guest, man.
I had to put my jacket on and go on. I said, oh yeah, I seen this man. I had to go and put it back on.
Hey, that's synergy right there.
Yours look better.
Oh, man, you doing your thing with yours, man. It's cool to have CoreyLou and DaVillage here on the program. Man, I was just thinking, like, we go back, man, and it's been amazing to watch you and your journey and your growth. I think we first crossed paths maybe a little bit before the pandemic, and everybody had to sit down for a minute. Yep. But I saw you mentally ramping up.
Yeah.
I mean, what has it been like to be in your craft, but also, like today, I witnessed you're a leader among this group of musicians. How do we get here to this moment with you're CoreyLou and DaVillage?
Yeah.
So, you had to come into your own voice, but also to lead this group.
Yeah. I appreciate you for having me, man. It really took, like you said, time just being to myself, studying, greats, talking to, the people that was around me. I had a dream of wanting to be a unusually successful entertainer. It's crazy. I had got like a little cookie from Chinatown, and it said that you were going to be an unusually successful entertainer. I was like, what is that? What does that mean? And I kept running with it, and then, I had the dream of, like I said, creating a band. I went to the Stax Music Academy, so I was already around a lot of cool instrumentalists. And then I was starting to do wedding gigs, and I was noticing that all these wedding gigs, these people were charging this big amount of money, but we weren't seeing any of it. So like the people who ran the entertainment companies, they were seeing $10,000 or whatever, and the band seeing $200 just by themselves. And so, I wanted to create something to where we could have fun, we could make some money doing it, where we could operate in our gifts, and our gifts would make room for us. So that's how it came to be. My mom taught me at an early age that it takes a village to raise a child. And so after her instilling that in me, that's how the name came about, CoreyLou and DaVillage. And like you said, these guys, these men and these women just came behind me, with my vision. And I've been, thankful for them just continue to push me. We have a group chat where we're just talking literally all day throughout the day. So we're really a family. We're really a village, man. So it's beautiful.
Well, let's talk about personnel, because you had a whole lot of all-star young cats from the city doing their thing right here in this moment. They're playing a lot of other ensembles. They do a lot of incredible other genres. I know, I see Charles. He's cold. He's cold. The jazz, and he comes from a lineage of jazz as well. Mm-hmm. Tell me about the personnel that we saw today.
Yeah, so the what you saw today, you had Charles Pender on saxophone, you had Clifton on trombone, you had A-Dub, who's an artist in her own way as well, on trumpet. You had Kim Gray acting as a musical director on keys. You had Isaiah, we call him Guitar Baby on the electric guitar. You had Carlos Nolan, Thunder Thumbs, we call him, on bass. And then you had Teddy Graham, Greg Stokes on drums, and also my boss and my girlfriend Zalisa Stewart as the other vocalist as well. So, and that's not even half of the village. Like, the village is made up of at least 25 instrumentalists and musicians. On top of, we have a media team as well. Shout out to Josh and AJ. But we like I said, I had this vision of creating opportunities for my friends, because I seen people taking advantage of me and my friends. And so I wanted to take out the middleman. And I told them my plans, and literally since 2021, it's been rolling. Now we've gotten to the point where we want to create our own original music. We want to stop doing these covers. No offense to the covers, like that's what made us who we are. Like, we love the Barcades, Earth, Wind, and Fire, like all of that.
The covers are not offended. The covers are fine.
I hope not. I love y'all. Please, I love y'all. Y'all the foundation. But definitely now we're stepping into doing our own original stuff. We've done a lot in Memphis, and now we're trying to get overseas into some different networks, and really take this thing to another level, man.
What are the qualities in CoreyLou as a human, as a Memphian, as a man, as a brother, as a friend, that makes you so suited to lead such a big ensemble and collective of young people that are headed towards the mission that you're speaking of?
Man, that's a great question. I honestly, I don't know the answer. I think that for one, God, like I said, God gave me the vision. God, He pushes me every day to do the things that I do. He wakes me up each and every morning to, put my best foot in front of the other. But also my family, my upbringing. It goes back to my village. I've been taught. My granny wrote me a letter before I went off to college, just talking about staying on the bus and this journey, how life is a journey, and how, God is the bus driver. Not to get spiritual, but God is the bus driver. You get on the bus and you just stay on the bus. People are going to get on and off of the bus, but you stay on the bus, stay close to the bus driver. There'll be hills and valleys, curves, and all the different stuff. But remember who you are and whose you are. Remember that you're equipped. And just stay close to the bus driver and you'll be all right. So I keep that in my heart. My granny is going on now, so I keep that in my heart, and I always remember who I do it for and who I am. And so, they keep me grounded. The village, my guys, my people, they keep me grounded. So that's really important.
Well, speaking of your grandmother, it was obvious today that there are so many strong women placed in your life.
Yeah.
And your mother kicked this thing off. Tell me about that relationship there.
Yes, I love my mama. My mama is DaVillage. She is the reason, like I said, for DaVillage. She taught me at an early age that it takes a village to raise a child. She will always say this. She will always say that, it takes the church. You're going to stay in church. It takes, your godmom, all these people, your family, to make sure that you are, who you need to be. And so even today, like she didn't know that she was gonna have to speak, so she was all a little flustered or whatever, but she still did her thing. I was very proud of her. But she always, at a young age, just instilled in me, good values, good morals, and just, made sure that I was always doing what I was supposed to do, where I was supposed to be. She put me in opportunities to grow from an early age. I was in Bantam League football. I was playing baseball, t-ball. I was playing basketball. I was in band. She was driving me back and forth to Millington football, to go to Stacks, back to the band in Millington. Like, it was a lot. So kudos to my mama. Shout out to her. She is the whole blueprint of what you see today. So anytime I represent, I step out, I'm representing her. I'm representing the village and where I come from.
No doubt. So tell me about the songs you chose today.
Yeah. So we chose It Takes the Village, and I got the feeling. It Takes the Village actually came out last year in October. We released that. That's one of our newest singles. It actually has Elisa Stewart on it and Craylin Davis, who actually wasn't here today, but he's actually on the single as well. It was produced by music producer Chris Franklin. And so that talks about my upbringing. That talks about how when I was a little dusty boy running around the yard, my granny told me how this life might get hard. And so just use the stuff that they taught me, that she taught me, to turn that into, a story, a song. And so, like, I want all of my songs to be a story that people can connect with. So, that's how Zalisa was able to come in and talk about her upbringing, and how Craylin was able to come in and talk about his upbringing. And so that's a single that we just released. It's out there on all platforms. I Got the Feeling. That's a new song that we actually hadn't released yet. We're about to release that soon with this new project. Our EP is entitled It Takes the Village to Raise a Child. So that's actually going to be on there as well. That song, as you can hear, church is all in us. Like, it's gospel is the foundation of all the music, and all of my instrumentalists. All of us are church babies. And so that song is like when you're in church and you happy. Like, that's the tip, that's the climax. Like, we got a song called Mic Check, to the Village intro, to some other stuff, into I Got the Feeling. And by the time you got the feeling, like, it's literally like you ready to go ahead and go. So that's why y'all might have seen me, doing some extra crazy stuff, sweating hard in there or whatever. So
yeah, it was some steam that lifted up out this room.
Definitely was. It was definitely a little hot, but I hope the people enjoyed it, man, for sure.
Speaking of the church, your mother let me in on a secret that when you were young, you used to hoop and holler a little bit. You know what I mean?
She talked too much.
So tell me about sort of that delivery of the spoken word, and how you get that spirit up out of you, up off of you, and into the crowd in your performance.
Yeah, so it's crazy. They said Johnny Taylor was one of the greatest preachers never known, right? Like, You can even hear it in his voice. It's like, that man, he could probably preach. Like, if he got behind the, and I think I've heard videos of him preaching, but I always think about that when it comes to myself, because yes, at a young age, believe it or not, they bought me a microphone. I had a karaoke. That was my choir, and I would come home every day and re-preach the sermon that the preacher preached that Sunday, and my mama would be in the living room just listening to me and all the different stuff, and I'd just be going crazy, like just, doing all this. So that's probably where the little squall came from, all of that. I literally remember my dad always tells this story too. One youth Sunday, I ended up singing I Don't Have a Closet Religion by Dottie Peoples, and I ended up going out in the aisles and like got on my knees and was singing. And that moment, like with all the people like looking at me and going, I was like, wait, this is cool. I probably shouldn't have been having that type of moment. Like, this is dope. But like, I was like, oh wait, this is cool. And so from that moment on, like I kind of found my passion of entertaining people and being in front of people. Like I said, I've been in so many disciplines of music that, it's been a blessing. But being behind the mic is my favorite.
Speaking of different disciplines, different venues, one place that you touch a lot of people, whether they're from the city or they're coming to visit, is at the FedEx Forum. You get live with the Grizzlies very often. Tell me about that gig and how you've been able to blend your brand of entertainment with the live entertainment that we come to expect from the excitement of Beale Street when the Grizzlies are playing at home.
Yes, shout out to the Grizzlies Live Entertainment. That is literally the best live entertainment team in the NBA. Nobody does it like the Memphis Grizzlies. Shout out to all of them that put that on. But I'm actually an employee of the Memphis Grizzlies. I actually work with them. I'm the MC for the Memphis Hustle. I started off as the Claw Crew, the people who throw the T-shirts in the crowd in 2019 during like right after I graduated college. And so from then on, started to just grow. They found out that I could sing. I did the national anthem. And then came an opportunity of, the MC for the Memphis Hustle. I talked to BLJ, the best hype man in the NBA, and he pushed me to become the MC. And then from then on, they saw that, I had a band. I had, this full infrastructure, and they granted me the opportunity, to come on stage and to do all the cool stuff that y'all see. So like we've done pregame plaza parties for the past, I think 3 years. We've done the in-game stadium stuff as well. We just recently did 2 games. So it's been amazing, man. The crowd, just imagine performing in front of 19,000 people. Like that's amazing. That's a whole different feeling from, performing in front of, 50 people or whatever. So it's always exhilarating. It's always fun. The people are always receptive. One of my favorite things is like the kids. We have so many kids that literally walk up to the stage every time we perform. It's the same kids. And we always take pictures with them. And so it's dope to see the lasting impressions we leave on them and what they leave on us too. So,
I get the sense that a lot of the musicians that are in your orbit share one thing in common with you. Is another discipline that I know that we hold near and dear here in Memphis, Tennessee, is the Stax Music Academy. Tell me about the impact of being involved, seems like lifelong, with this organization.
Definitely. Shout out to Stax Music Academy and the Soulsville Foundation. I'm an alum of the Stax Music Academy, graduated in 2013 from Stax, and I actually currently work there as well as the registrar and the recruiter, and a lot of other things. But it's definitely been a blessing to be afforded the opportunity to go to Stax Music Academy. When I did, I actually started at Stax in 2006, and ended in 2008, and then came back in 2011. Like I said, graduated in 2013. But that opportunity created who you see today. If it wasn't for me being in Stax, specifically during that time of 2011, 2013, I wouldn't be who I am today. I was under the direction of Mr. Justin Merrick, Miss Terrellyn Douglas, who Miss Terrellyn Douglas actually is back working at Stax, and we work together now. They pushed me to always be out in front of the people, to always be a showman, to always go out and dance and do crowd participation. And so with that, that helped me, be who I am today. And so after then, I was able to go to college and take what I learned from Stax into college, and then from college, to the actual real world, to the stage. But even now, Stax, connects us all. You know, it's so many people that even the students that are currently in Stacks, like one of the kids just sent me a video yesterday. He randomly FaceTimed me playing one of my songs and just showing me that he's practicing and recording and stuff. And so even that, like me thinking like, all right, when he graduates, I want to make sure I have opportunity ready for him, because you know, he's looking at us. And then also just in the back of my head, just knowing that we're helping molding what he thinks music is. You know, it's kind of like how me as a kid looking up to the Barcades and, you know, all of these like Booker T and the MGs, like it's kind of cool that these kids are like looking up to DaVillage, and their Stacks is all bringing us all together through that. So, you know, shout out to Stacks. Even sometimes, you know, my sound equipment, it comes from Stacks. So, you know, they've afforded me so many opportunities, and they're doing it day in and day out. So shout out to them for all that they're doing over there in 926 East Macklemore. Make sure y'all come over there and audition. Come on.
No doubt. So what's next? You said some new music's on the horizon?
Yep. So we got a project that we're working on called It Takes the Village to Raise a Child. So that's a 5-song EP. And then we have some new merch. I have on a shirt from the merch as well. And so one of the cool things about DaVillage is the other singer in this band is my girlfriend, Zelisa Stewart. And so together we call ourselves Z-Lou or whatever. And so we're going to
You said or whatever. you heard him right, Zelisa.
No, don't with me, please. Don't. That's my boss lady, please. But no, for real, we call ourselves Z-Lou. You can actually go follow that on Instagram. But we're going to be releasing music up under that name, that collaboration. So be looking out for some R&B love music. And that's different because people think that CoreyLou only does funk. Like, I'm a lover boy at heart. So you gotta understand. I got some,
cleaned it up with that one.
You know, yeah. Gotta throw it in there a little bit. I'm a lover boy at heart. So definitely got to throw in some serenading and got to sing with my lady in there. And this is gonna be a special project with her. So we'll release that later on in the year. So yeah, just be looking out for some cool stuff from us. And we got a lot of performances going on this year too.
No doubt. CoreyLou, proud of you, brother.
Appreciate you, bro. I'm proud of you, man. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely,
bro. Love
man.
family.
Already.